Good day, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. This is Active Restore Day 16 of 30-day challenge. We're going to start actually on the mat lying flat, face down, and we'll drop right into what's known as a posture known as half frog pose. A nice way to just ground and land. We'll start there and we'll get into the hips and pelvis a little bit more today before arriving in a resting meditative posture of your choosing, seated or lying flat. So we'll start face down. Starting face down, and we can go ahead and bend the left knee up, so the knee about 90 degrees, and bending the left elbow. And then we can take the right cheek to the floor. We can place the right arm back behind us and begin to drop into the space of your practice here, lying flat on the supportive structure of the living earth here. And begin to attune to your breath. Perhaps take a few deeper breaths here. Breathing all the way down into the low belly, low back, pelvis. Allowing the bones of your body to sort of melt a little bit more into the supportive earth. We'll take about 5 more breaths here on this side of this half frog pose. You might be working with the eyes closed, especially if you're transitioning from a more stimulated space where you've been engaged with screen time or mental activity or socializing. So always the closing of the eyes can support a bit more of an inward turning, settling the system. Also neurologically giving a rest to the visual cortex of the brain. So this supports some de-stimulation. You can switch sides, so press your left leg back, take your left arm behind you, and then we'll bend the right knee and the right elbow. You can bring the right knee up towards the right elbow, and then gaze to the right palm. And allow the bones of your body to settle a little closer towards the floor. Breathe deeply into your low back, your low belly, down into the pelvis, down into your feet. Find a full breath in and a full breath out. Again, a full breath in, fill your lungs. And a conscious, long exhale. You can take a few more of those. Full breath in, all the way down in the belly. Feel your chest. And then smooth, full exhales, grounding. And we'll go for 3 more breaths, just like that. You can release the pose. We'll transition into cobra pose, sometimes also called sphinx posture. The forearms plant out in front of you, elbows under the shoulders. We can look forward, we can look down, we can also look up, point the chin. If this extension of your spine in the low back is too much, we can take the hands out further or lower even further, forehead to palms. We'll take a couple breaths here. Once again, breathe down into your low belly, into the low back. Notice where your shoulders are in space. We'll take 3 more breaths here. For 2. And for 1. And your exhale, we can lie flat, perhaps your forehead to stacked palms. And then bending your knees, we can rinse the ankles side to side, like windshield wipers, your shins side to side. Rotating through the hip joint, so loosening up the low back a little bit here. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We can then tuck the toes, plant the palms under the shoulders, push your hips back to your heels, big toes together, child's pose. So counter posture to that extension. We can find some spinal flexion now as we bring the hip joint, close the hip joint, bring your legs towards the torso, forehead towards the floor. This can be also a really nice grounding posture. For a moment, we can walk the hands off the mat to the right side, get into your side body and fill the breath into your left side body, your left side rib cage. From here we can then walk back through center and hands, arms over to the left side. Breathe into your right side rib cage. Imagine or feel your way into bringing space in between the ribs of your right side body. And then once again, back to center. We can then pull ourselves forward to a tabletop position. Connect for a moment with some cat-cow position to rinse out the spine and connect breath and movement. Inhale. Arch your spine, tailbone up, chin lifts. Exhale, round your spine, chin to chest. Inhale, arch the spine. And exhale, round. Push your upper back into the sky. We'll go for 3 more rounds. Maybe take it off alignment, side wind through the spine, your neck. For 2. And for 1. Okay. Let's bring the right foot forward now. Between the hands, a brief visit to a low lunge. So now we get to open up through the hip flexors briefly. Front of the hip. Breathe here. Hands to front thigh or hands to low back. You can use that for encouragement to push your hips and pelvis forward. Lift through your heart. For 3. For 2. And a deep inhale. 1 more here. And exhale. Press back. Press back into child's pose or a brief visit to downward facing dog, hips to sky. From here, step your left foot forward. We'll switch sides. Low lunge. Hands to the front thigh or hands to your low back pelvis. And then press, encourage your pelvis to draw forward as you lift through your heart. Breathe here, full deep breathing. So breathe from the crown of your skull down, 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 down into the pelvis, front of the hip, right knee into the back heel. And then exhale from there, all the way up your spine, out the crown. You can think of that as some circular breathing for 3, for 2, and for 1. Plant the palms, step back, downward facing dog or a child's pose. Once again, just a brief reset. Breathe there. Next, we'll come into pigeon pose. So bring your right knee forward to your right wrist. Your front shin towards parallel to the front of the mat. Doesn't need to be parallel, but sort of ballpark. The knee can be bent there. Heel closer to the groin if that's better for your biomechanics. Now, if the right hip is up off the floor, place a block or a blanket perhaps under the right sit bone. Can be really helpful, supportive to safely, progressively, and intelligently open up the tissues of your body in a titrated fashion. I'm going to breathe into the sensations you feel. Options here to stay upright. There's a little more spinal extension there, or fold forward. Relieve the lower back. And another expression here, listen to your body here. You might walk your torso perhaps to the left, slightly different angle of the outer right hip and your lower right quadrant of the low back. Breathe there for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, and for 1. We can then release the pose, come back through center if you did twist, press back, brief visit, child's pose or downward facing dog once again. Then we can switch sides. Bring your left knee forward to the left wrist. Pigeon posture, the second side. Just as a demonstration, you can probably see here my left hip is up off the floor. Pretty decent stretch sensation in the outer left hip. So I'm going to place a rolled up, folded up blanket under my left thigh to sit onto, so that I can let my body rest in that stretched position. I'm flexing through the left toes here to maintain some activity through here to support the knee joint as well. The option to stay upright there, or perhaps you fold forward right down the center, or if you did on the other side, you might choose to walk your torso over to the right. Elbows frame your left foot. Breathe deeply here. So for a lot of folks, it's pretty common to feel quite a lot of sensation in this posture. Hips, pelvis, groin, low back. Can you breathe down into the sensations in that area? And exhale. Any of those sensations, the tension, the stickiness, the congestion, the physical experience of that, but also the psychological experience. Couple more breath on this side. Okay, we can then walk ourselves back through center. Press back. Once again, a brief visit to downward facing dog or a child's pose, hips to heels. If it's in down dog, you might pedal out the heels a little bit. Perhaps you've already been doing that just to rinse out your calf muscles, back body. Okay, then we can come down onto the knees and then roll over. We'll slowly lie flat. Come to lying flat here. I've got a strap and a belt. I have a strap nearby for the next posture before our final resting. Use your core here to slowly lower your torso down to the floor. To go really slow motion, that's an option. Go as slow as you like. Choosing to activate through the abdominal core here. And then lying flat, find an honest breath in. Fill your lungs all the way. And an honest exhale. Okay, last ones here. Right knee into chest, option 1. Option number 1 there. You can stay there. Second would be to straighten the right leg. Hands to behind the knee, calf, or maybe some of you might reach the foot, but here's where the strap can be really nice. A strap around the right foot. And then allow the shoulders to relax down, your arms to be heavy, you're just holding the grip there. And breathe here. Reach through both heels, extend through the crown of your skull and your tailbone. And we'll go here for 5. Full deep breathing here, so we're choosing to really breathe. Just slightly increasing the ventilation, lung capacity, the duration of each inhale, exhale here to work with your nervous system to bring a really soothing, nurturing, and restorative quality into your system. One more deep breath here. And an exhale, release the right leg. Notice the flood and flow of sensation, information, head to toe. And then we'll switch sides. Left knee into the chest. Option to stay there. Or straighten your left knee, reaching the hands behind your shin, your calf muscle, or reach for your foot. Or take the strap around your foot and straighten the leg. Active through both feet, so push through both heels. Let the shoulders relax down, lengthen your neck, and connect with some smooth, clear breath. Eyes open or closed. For 3, for 2, and one more deep inhale, and an exhale to release the posture. The invitation from here is to lie flat onto the floor, your mat, to let go of all the effort. If you choose at this point, you might wish to come and sit up into a meditative seat. But the invitation, and I will offer the instruction from here to lie flat. Take a couple clearing breaths. A full breath in. And exhale, perhaps out of the mouth, just sighing the breath out. And 2 more just like that. And 1. And then releasing the breath to return to its own intelligent, natural rhythm. If you have it available, if it's comfortable to work with your eyes closed for this final resting posture, meditative resting pose. Or just a soft gaze in front of you. We're choosing to eliminate and remove any distractions Resting into the support of the earth under your seat or under your entire back body here. Resting into the support of your skeleton, the bones of your body. And allowing your mind to rest into the space that you've created through your breathing and some of these visits and some of the postures to create some space in your body, to open up the tissues of the body. And allow yourself to rest into your direct experience of being here. For the next few moments, appreciating some silence, and relaxing the muscles of your face, your jaw, your chest, belly, your arms, your legs. Softening and letting go of all the effort. Inviting and welcoming you to stay a little longer here in your meditation, whether you're lying down or in your comfortable seated meditative posture, to give yourself the gift to really restore your system and to integrate and deepen your meditation. Continuing to allow the intelligence of your breathing body to be an informant to a teacher, a dear and deep teacher for your system, and to invite your mind to rest into the space that you've carved out for yourself here. Thanks for tuning in. Look forward to connecting with you and seeing you again real soon. Take good care.